What's up, guys? This is Vic from Drop Spotlight. We're here live with the artist that's taking you to the World Series. Artist s.preston. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing fantastic. Yeah, I just told you I might be going to the World Series, so I'm pretty excited today.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing
Oh, I'm
that
talking to
bugs.
you too. I'm excited about that.
Of course. And I see that bugs in the background. Is that one of your art pieces?
Yeah. I'm actually licensed with Looney Tunes and Major League Baseball, and so I created this. Well, it's my fingers. Created this series of it's called the Baseball Bugs, based off that episode from 1940, 1947, 1950. I forgot the year. Back in the day, based off that episode, and then I worked with the MLB and Looney Tunes on putting all 30 jerseys on Bugs Bunny and creating all this kind of unique art pieces.
Oh, that's great to hear. Great to hear. So, tell us a bit about your art's involvement with sports.
Okay. So I was a graphic designer for many years. I was doing illustrations, and I have a passion for sports. I've always loved sports. Doesn't matter all of them. So I started designing sports and just throwing them online, and they got quite popular. And then next thing you know, out of the blue, the MLB called me and asked me to license my entire collection, everything, and I was like, what? And then I got a business, had a business partner, and we talked it over, and we didn't realize it, but they don't really offer those type of things to many people. So we jumped on it. I went 2 feet in. I quit my job. And I started creating sports art full times. And my focus is on minimalism. So less is more. If you what you see it, if you recognize what you're looking at, then you know what it is. So I took that idea of minimalism into sports and got it licensed, and now I do that full time. I've been doing it the last almost decade now.
Dude, that's huge. MLB calling you up and wanting your art, man. That's like a dream come true right there for many artists out there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then you're literally starting from nothing. I have no idea about licensing and distributors and sales reps and all that kind of stuff. I was just like, okay, let's do it. And it was quite a learning process, the whole thing. But honestly, it's, a chance to do what you love, especially as an artist. I call it there's a lot of starving artists, but to be a thriving artist is totally different. That's really my blessing and joy, is to make sports fans something that I love and connects with other sports fans. And in this case, Looney Tunes fans. It's just something totally new and interesting.
Yeah, and like what you said, it's new. It captures your attention because you're like, is that Bugs Bunny with a Yankees cap? I'm like, wow, it's different.
Yeah, actually, there was a time when there was these upper deck cards there were Looney Tunes cards, and a lot of sports fans remember collecting those. But that was back in the '90s. That was 30 years ago. So to bring it back and bring it to art form, so I'm working on a whole collection of different pieces now for different characters, and of course the league wants all 30 jerseys, but it's nice to just sort of do all fan bases, like doing Tasmanian Devil, Marvin the Martian stuff. That would be really. I'm just so excited about this whole creative space that I can get into.
That's really awesome. Congrats on that. 'Cause that's huge, especially from a major sports. Well, I'm not saying major sports team, but major sports everything. Like a Major
Yeah.
League Baseball. A league.
Yeah, so I'm now licensed with the NHL. I have the rights to do NBA and NFL. So honestly, if I just doing those 4 leagues and all the characters that are available, my heart is full. My palette of work is full. So it's fantastic.
Wow, that is awesome. You got everybody.
Yeah.
Sweet. I know that you're a big sports fanatic. Is there a major league team in any of those leagues that made you feel that doing their art solidified your own personal success as an artist?
Oh, interesting question. Yeah. So I'm a Blue Jay fan. I'm Canadian, so I always lean toward that team. But once you get licensed with the league, it's not really you don't really suddenly get a bunch of phone calls. You have to make a lot of phone calls. But it's really nice to get validated by a lot of. When I was making these phone calls to all the teams, I would get calls from GMs or buyers in different leagues and stuff, and they'd go, "Oh yeah, I saw your work. I saw your work on ESPN. I love it already. You didn't even need to be licensed. I love your work. That's really validating. That I'm in almost a lot of the team stores. A lot of the executives have my artwork on the wall, and it's very validating to know that I resonate with sports with all the teams. And there's some teams that really like take it up a notch. The Astros have really been great to me. The Tigers, the Dodgers, there's a lot of teams that have really stepped it up.
Wow, that's really cool. That's
The Royals, which is it's so cool to be part of sports.
that is awesome. That is awesome. Can you tell me a little bit more about your minimalist baseball Bugs Bunny MLB edition? Like, how did getting with Chuck Jones and the Major League Baseball get all wrapped up together?
Yeah, so obviously I own a gallery actually right beside Disneyland. I live in Anaheim, and but a block away, this is Cheesecake Factory. For some of you guys know, I have a little gallery there. So Chuck Jones set up a pop-up shop right next to me about a couple years ago, and we met together, and and they came into my gallery, and they're like, I love your work. And I was like, no, I love your work. And he's like, no, I love your work. And we're like, we got to do something together. So let me see if we can do that flippy flip thing that we did earlier. So I did these two pieces for Chuck Jones.
Wow.
Which are not, one of them is just Sylvester, one of them is just the baseball bugs. And then that's when when I created this baseball bugs piece, I kind of thought, okay, how can we take it up next stop? How can we involve the MLB? And obviously there's some legal questions around that. There's some licensing questions around that. There's, everybody wants a cut. So there was a lot of loopholes to jump through to get to the point where we can, I can get these pieces done. So it's really kind of it was a lot of work. But that's how it came about. It really comes down to that we love each other's work and we're passionate about it. And I think if you lead with that when it comes to art, the rest is just it's conversation and negotiation. But it's important to be passionate about what you do, and someone else is passionate about what I'm doing.
Of course, it's an iconic figure, Bugs Bunny, and everyone resonates with that. So that's really cool. It's really amazing on that part,
Yeah, I love the fact that he's sort of tucked in the corner. You know who he is. I just need to show just enough of him just so that and you're thinking about what pitch he's throwing, because he throws all these crazy pitches, super slow ball, the screamer and stuff. So that's really what minimalism is about. I just need to show you this little bit, and your creative mind should be able to fill in the rest and tell the story and make those connections. So that's what I love about minimalism.
Oh, sweet. It drives the imagination wild,
Yeah.
Awesome. So I know a lot of people out there, since you're heading the sports and art together, what advice do you have for young artists that want to incorporate their own view of sports in their art?
Well, sports is always a difficult business to do, but any artist should just do what they love to do. It's not about money. It's not about selling. It's about creating something they love. So I'm over 40, and I wish this happened a long time ago. I always say that if I was 30, this would be great. But honestly, I was just creating art that I loved, and it came eventually for me. But even if a career didn't show up, I would still be doing it because I love it. So art has to first come from a point of love. If you actually are trying to create a business from art, my recommendation that I got early on when I first started is that, hey, I'm an artist, and most artists are introverts, and we want to spend 80% of our time creating the art. We want to walk inside of our bunker. I don't want to talk to anybody, and I just want to create art. So they spend 80% of the time on the art and 20% of the time in the business. So the recommendation that I have for artists is you got to flip that around. I spent 80% of my time on the business, 20% on the art. I learned marketing, finance, how to talk to people, how to talk about my art. Those are all important things that I spent the early years doing. So as an artist, I really recommend just sharing, getting on social media, talking, having every opportunity to learn the business of art. The creating the art, that's the easy part. That's the fun part. That's hey, I worked hard for my 80% and take my last 20%. I'm gonna go draw something awesome. So
Dude, that's great to hear, and that's good information for young artists out there.
yeah.
Thank you for that. Because people will need to know that and incorporate that into their own brands.
Exactly. It's important. I mean, you got to be practicing every day, but that's our goal, is to do what we love, and it makes it easy. So there's a little bit of hard work needs to be, but to get to that end goal, yeah, for sure. Let's work at it. It'll be great.
Awesome. And lastly, where can our fans find your art? Want to get that behind you into my wall back here. Where can they
Well, we
find
can
that?
arrange that. What team are you a fan of, actually? Who's your team?
Houston Astros, actually.
Oh, interesting. Okay, cool. Well, they won the first game, so we're on the way.
Oh yes. So
Yeah.
where can they find you? Like, is there a website or social media that our fans could look into more?
Yeah, and most of my social, everything's mostly s.preston, so s.preston.com. Sorry, I'll take that back. Most of it's s.preston designs, plural. So s.prestondesigns.com. Facebook and Instagram are also s.preston designs. But my Twitter is poot poot. Don't ask me why, it's weird, but my Twitter is poot poot, and I'll always keep it that way. I'm never giving it up. So s.preston designs, except for Twitter, which is poot poot.
Well, the first names, you can't get rid of those.
No, you can't. But I want to take. I don't take life that seriously. So poot poot just puts a smile on people's faces, and I think that's a good icebreaker when it comes to Twitter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sweet. So, as Preston, thank you so much for taking the time to sit down and talk to us more about your art, sports, and you are bringing an imagination back into the sports arenas. We thank you for that, man.
You're welcome. I love talking to you about this.
Awesome. And guys, check out his social media, check out his website, put your orders in, because these things are flying off the rack. And with World Series on right now, you want to make sure your own team's represented, or a future World Series where you be like, I got my piece ready for my team to make it this next year, 2 years.
Actually, I do a trophy piece every year. So I'm ready right now to launch either the Lakers or the Miami Heat trophy piece. I just did the NHL one, and then I'll have a special trophy piece for whoever wins the MLB. I don't know yet. Trust me, we don't know yet. But I do this trade show, so if you follow me and you're cheering for the Lakers or the Heat, you're going to see something cool in the next couple days.
Sweet. Be sure to follow him, guys, and get ready, because you're going to see some amazing new pieces. All right, guys, this is Vic from Drop the Spotlight. We'll see you at the virtual cons. Bye.